What is the best camera for making YouTube videos? Very good question, because anywhere between, oh gosh, I don't know, several $100s to several $1,000s, you could really be in debt, quite frankly. Well, a lot of us like to start off at low prices, a low entry level. We can cover that for you in just a few minutes. By the end of this video, you're going to know a lot more about cameras, and especially when it comes to video cameras and shooting your content for YouTube. You'd be surprised what a great entry camera is, some considerations depending on what you're going to be shooting, and ultimately a few settings that you're going to need to be aware of, but ultimately my bottom line recommendation for what it's worth. Let's get started. Hi, I'm Nick Nettarella with AdWise Creative. I've been in the audio field for over 25 years, almost 30 years now, and the video world has just come on like gangbusters, and I am having the time of my life. I hope you and your business are too. This is a great opportunity for small to medium-sized business owners to get on YouTube, to get on podcasting, to reignite that blog page of yours and be an industry influencer. Now is the time to strike. So, if you're going to start off on YouTube, what's going to be a great camera to shoot your videos? Very common question. And I have a couple answers for you and some things you're going to want to consider. First of all, the classic quote is, what's the best camera? Well, the one you have with you. If you need to take a picture, if you need to shoot a video, whatever one you got is the best one for it. If you weren't prepared, if you didn't bring your entire rig, like, oh gosh, I don't know, lights and screens and all kinds of microphones and stuff, grab your phone. Start with your phone and start shooting content. Smartphones are almost as capable as DSLRs and mirrorless cameras. In fact, I would venture to say that today's smartphones were probably as capable as DSLRs from about 5 or 10 years ago. They have passed the old stuff and they're coming really close to the new stuff. In fact, there's already been a feature film made, an indie film, completely and totally shot on an iPhone, and it probably isn't going to be long before, well, somebody big is going to go ahead and make an entire movie and get it out there on the silver screen, completely and totally shot on their smartphone. I mean, heck, a few years ago, you know, when Blair Witch Project came out, that probably would have been a perfect project for a cell phone. But they weren't that popular back then. They certainly didn't have the cameras that they have of today. So the first question you need to ask yourself is, what kind of videos are you going to be recording? Are they going to be simple talking head videos like I do here? Are they going to be action type of stuff? Are they going to be DIY with maybe a lot of B-roll and cuts and showing people how to do things? What kind of shooting are you going to be doing? Multiple locations? Do you need to shoot some B-roll on the side? Are they going to be in a studio where you've got a controlled environment with lighting and sound? All of that needs to be taken into consideration, because you don't want to be out there and have this absolutely incredible moment that you can't catch on a phone that doesn't have the capacity for that shot that just handed itself to you. Wouldn't that be a terrible thing to miss? Another consideration would be if you've got a whole bunch of people sitting around a table. You're going to do like a round robin or a panel discussion, that type of thing. You might need more than one camera. I can think of at least 3, 4. I mean, if you've got 5 people around the room, maybe 3 or 4 cameras to highlight certain segments and to take certain angles. You're going to have to cover the entire table at some point or another. So be sure to have several of them available, no matter what you're going to end up using, if that's what you're going to be doing. If this is going to be a one-off kind of thing, you might want to reconsider it. But if this is going to be a typical shoot with a panel discussion, well, you might be opening up the checkbook. Other certain capabilities to think of, for example, in a camera, you've got what is called the aperture setting. Now you may or may not know what that means, but a lot of times there's this other ring, besides the focus, there's this other ring that you'll see photographers adjusting, maybe even hearing a little click when you're doing it. At least the old ones did when I was growing up. That determines how much light comes in. That will also determine, can you see my background? See how fuzzy it is? The aperture will determine how fuzzy the background is. You can't do the blurred background on a smartphone. Well, I take that back. You can do it in portrait mode if you're taking still pictures, but not in video. It's not so much an aperture setting as it is program, calculator, fudge around, but let's just say that you can only do it for still photos and not for video like I'm doing it here. Video blurred background, then you're looking at a DSLR or mirrorless. So something like that, because once your background is blurred, you can shoot anywhere you want to. If it's going to be in focus, that's going to be much more critical, and you better have a really good looking background because there's an opportunity for it to steal focus away from what you're doing. By the way, these are the topics that we cover here on this channel: how to get your YouTube channel up and running, how to get your podcast up and running, how to revive that blog page of yours on your website, all to bring you more customers and clients to your business. So if this is something that you're interested in, please subscribe, hit like, share it with other business owners that you know that also want to start incorporating either video marketing or podcasting into their repertoire. This is a great place to start. At least I think it is. So when it all boils down to what do you need to do? What camera is the best for making your YouTube videos? Well, it doesn't hurt to get started on your phone. Like I said before, there are a bunch of things that you can set. There are really some deep settings that you're probably not even aware of that are on your phone. A lot of times you can find them in two different places. Either call up the camera app and then start pushing the buttons that are already there, or if you go to your app, go to settings, find your apps icon, and then find the camera icon, you may find some additional settings there that are going to help change and modify the picture in the settings. Get in there, start with your smartphone, and start taking pictures. Start taking extra pictures. Start messing with all this kind of stuff. The shutter speed and the filters and things like that. Just start going crazy with it and just see what it does. When you start there, it'll be very easy to segue into my ultimate recommendation. I would really suggest you work your way up to either a DSLR or a mirrorless camera. I'm sure you've seen them. They're the basic camera shape. You got the body and you got the lens sticking out the front, that kind of thing. That's the camera that you ultimately want to get. There is so much more versatility with it. There are so many, there are a lot of settings to it, but frankly, when you get into stuff like, for example, this type of shooting right now, we set it and we walk away. We hit record and don't touch it. Little stuff like that. Once you set your look, you're good to go. Now, if you're out and about, if you're, say, doing DIY videos on a construction site or something like that, your lighting's going to change. Your lighting's going to change just by you turning around. One moment you're facing the sun, the next minute you got your back to the sun. Little things like that you're going to have to be on top of and really know the function of your camera. And a DSLR or mirrorless is going to take care of that. A lot of it will take care of it for you, but you're also going to be able to manipulate and massage it a little bit to get the great shot that you're looking for. The added thing to it is for DSLRs, there's a whole lot more, and I say DSLRs generically, I mean mirrorless as well, but there are a whole bunch of accessories that you can go with it, and the first thing that pops into my mind is microphones. Being able to get that audio. This audio right here is being recorded. Well, I've got a backup microphone hanging just outside of the screen that you can't see. Little stuff like that you can do much more efficiently and effectively with a DSLR than your smartphone. Stuff like that, you've got to think beyond the camera. What else do you need it for? What else can the camera do for you that the phone can't? Once you've taken all this footage, now what are you going to do with it? You're going to edit it. That's a whole nother ball of wax. But to get you started, I've compiled a list of free video editing software that's out there right now. And you can get your free guide just by clicking on the link down in the description. Click on that link, get your copy. Free video editing software guide. For Mac, for PC, whatever it is, you could probably get started editing your very first videos today. I'm Nick Natarella with AdWise Creative. Thank you for watching.